Hey there, welcome to Eve News, Sports and Weather. It's September 22nd, 2025. I'm Mike Azariah, let's get to it. It's GM week this week, which means that the GMs and some of the devs are doing roams, pinatas, and such. There's a link down below for more details, but there are live events happening this week in the game, in addition to the Vanguard and Eve crossover, which is happening as well this week. So there's a lot going on if you go looking for it. This morning was a big whack a pinata in three different systems, which will come up at a mention at the end of this when we're talking about the traffic. Uh, in Tarda, Ulai, and Pakshi, it was whack a pinata, which basically meant that there were large ships that were full of keen stuff and a lot of people shooting at it and then darting in to try to grab whatever they could. I heard rumors that at least one person picked up 6 billion in loot, uh, just grabbing the right thing. And I saw in Reddit some people claiming there was even a Moloch BPC. Don't know if it's true because hey, Reddit. But I'll put a link to the Twitch stream from this morning also down below. So there'll be a couple of, I've got link symbols on my list of things to tell you, just so that I can actually try to keep track of what I promise. So a link for GM Week and a link for the Wacka Pinata. As of tomorrow, the CSM election season starts with candidates filing to be candidates at all. And so yours truly will be one of them filing, I hope. And we'll see how that goes. Remember that even alphas can run for a seat on the CSM. On the other hand, alphas cannot vote. So you have that balance of you can kind of like you're not allowed to drink, but you can serve in the armed forces. Here's a rifle. A lot of countries have that little dichotomy going. Let's see what else. Oh, this morning there was a dev chat. Link will be down below for that, which had CCP Okami, Ratati, and one other whose name totally escapes me right now. I apologize to that dev. But they were chatting about a lot of things, and overall, it was like getting a high altitude view of what they're planning on doing over the next year. CSM winds up being at ground level, looking at the nitty gritty. This change, that change, this is what we're going to do, this is why it's a bad idea or a good idea. But this is their version of giving you a highlight of what's coming on. One of the things they threw about was the term gold rush. They used that more than once. And I think they were comparing it to a certain extent to the Vanguard event, which has had all of a sudden there'll be a little treasure convoy somewhere that you can go and shoot and loot and get some stuff from it. But this is a way to convince people that they really ought to go shooting across into low sec, null sec, high sec, getting people in space. And I think the gold rush, I do not know a single thing about it aside from this being a concept or a driver that they want to do. It's not the name of a proposed change. It's more a generational thing or how they want to think about it when they're making their plans. They want to get people moving and in space because the more we're in space, the more we create violence and shoot each other up and have a grand old time doing so. So let's see, it's run into the Badlands. And then when you get there and find out it's all done, hey, maybe you'll shoot the people who got there before you. Maybe you'll say, look, there's an ESS over there. Let's rob that. That sort of thing. So they're really hoping that by creating reasons to go places, they also will create the same way Route 66 used to work down in the States prior to the big interstate highways, was you were trying to get from point A to point B through desert and badlands and all of that. But a lot of little things started cropping up, little diners and little shops and weird little Area 51 tourist sites and diners in the shape of a UFO. It's I've driven on parts of Route 66 and I found it cool. I purposely left the fast way to travel so I could go in the fun way to travel. And to a certain extent, that might be what they're shooting for with this gold rush concept. Again, that is not the name of an expansion. It's just a um, overall theme that they're shooting for. So, in addition, let's get into the alliance movement. The biggest one by far was Dawn's Light Alliance, which dropped 2,346 people this week, meaning I could have sworn I just mentioned them a couple of weeks ago when they were on the climb. Now it's straight back down again. Violence, Nullsec, it was Gulf Tac, Quebec, Tango, Sierra Delta, 513 ships, 324 pods. In low sec, it was Hikokin with 332 over 237. And in high sec, as I said, I'd be coming back to this. Ulai was the most violent with 698 ships blown up, 398 pods. Second and third were held by Tarda and Pakshi. So a lot of violence happened today and was a lot of fun for a lot of people by the looks of it. Check the stream. Like I said, I'll have that link down below. I want you to. Oh, and violence for against NPCs was Alpha Victor, TAC Victor, Bravo 6, if I read my numbers right, with 42,000 NPCs blown up in a single day. Not bad, and leastwise it's not the same ones as always, so it's nice to see that the farmers are moving around and rotating their crops and fields. I hope you have fun with GM Week, and I will talk to you again soon. Today it's fortified apple wine from apples in my own backyard. I hope you have a good week. To your health. Ciao, Bella.